Assalamu alaikum and hello. I'm Azmat Shah from Drupak and we are into day 5 of Drupal site building in DDCDP. We'll be continuing the project management app which we started in day 4. So we'll be adding some features into it. One of them is using ECA module to create messages and logs for the task assignee as well as the project managers. And ECA stands for event condition action. It's a module, a powerful replacement to the rules module if any of you ever used rules in Drupal 7, which was very powerful as well. And though it is also now a complete module in Drupal 11, but ECA seems to be even more powerful than that, and we will be using ECA to create messages or logs at various stages of the project management app, especially notifying task assignees through messages and email using ECA. And we'll also notify project managers about the status change of a task. So there are some very interesting features to add to the project management app, and it will be a brief intro into ECA module as well. So let's dive in. Okay, we will start with manipulating the dashboard. We in fact had left it in the last lecture, so we will start from there. Before this, let me quickly install an admin theme which is very much in these days, Jan theme Drupal, and even it is part of the Drupal CMS as well, which has been recently launched. So what we can do is I can just copy this, and just like modules, we haven't yet installed any themes, but we can install themes also in Drupal just like any other popular CMSs and frameworks. So we'll install this theme, and in fact I already have done it, but I will just before the class I was in fact busy doing it. Now let me close the extra. Once. So this is the command, ddef composer require, and I already have done it, so maybe we'll just not do anything else. But if you go to the next step is going to the appearance tab, and this is the theme we have installed. I already have clicked on install, and here administrator theme I will choose GIN and save configuration. That's it. So you can see the admin theme now has changed, and the links are on the left now.
Yes.
And probably if you go to the dashboard, so these are the two dashboard elements. One thing, if I log in now with Afaq, so he can be redirected to the task manager's dashboard also. He should not be seeing, because Afaq is, if I go to people and Afaq, so you can see he's the project manager. And Shahab is both project manager and task manager, but the dashboard settings for this is task manager's dashboard and this is project manager dashboard. So project manager should not be seeing the task manager's dashboard which has been assigned to the task managers, right? So what we can do is, if we click on the edit layout and go to manage permissions, so you can see project manager also can go to the task manager's dashboard. So I will just remove this one. So this is one improvement we have done. We have assigned the task manager dashboard only to the task manager, so that project managers don't go to that particular dashboard. If I go back to the dashboard and then project manager dashboard and edit layout, so you can see in the permissions it is only assigned to project manager. So if I now log out, and if I log in as AFAQ, this is logout. If I log in now, if I log in and AFAQ 1 2 3 4 5 6 and log in, so you can see AFAQ is now redirected to his own dashboard and not the other dashboard, right?
Yes.
And we created these users created by the project managers. So because AFAQ is project manager, so these were the users he has created, right?
Yes, sir.
Now let us add some extra things to this dashboard for project managers as well as the task managers. I will log in again as admin because we need to create something. And if we come to the structure just to see how things are at the moment, so custom types, content types. So one is project assignment. Project assignment was for assigning projects to the user, and the task, and tasks are assigned to users also. So if we come to the manage fields for tasks, so we can assign users to the task, and now we need to have a notification system. For example, if somebody is assigned a task, he will get a message. He will get a message or log that a task has been assigned to you.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So how can we do this? For example, this is if I go to adding content and a new task, this is task, right? So title, description, select user, this is Bilal. For example, I have assigned a task to Bilal, and in which project? This project, and the date is this and status whatever. And if I save it, Bilal should get an email that a task has been assigned to you, an email,
Yes, sir.
as well as
Allowed.
some message in the inbox in the dashboard. If he goes to his dashboard, he will see a message in the dashboard. So we will do something like this both for the project managers as well as the task users. Okay, so this can be done. Let me ask you, because you have come through the whole process of custom PHP, then Symfony and all such stuff. So in custom PHP, how we will, for example, if I have to send an email, if this is saved, so what I will do, where will that email be sent? How will that email be sent?
Through mail function?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And the email will be sent to this guy,
To this person, yes, sir.
right? And how can we get the email of this guy? Because this is just the value
Yes,
we
sir.
select. So how can we get the email?
So the user that we have already created inside the people.
So through this user ID, we will get the email.
Good. You will query the database with
Yes,
this
sir.
ID, and then you will know the email of the user, and then you will
Yes, sir.
send. Okay. Okay. So let's do. Let me first install something called message. It actually is a they call it message stake. And message actually is an entity type, just like you have nodes and whatever, but it does not have by default. There now is a content module for that, but it is an content entity type, just like nodes, you can say, but it does not have any interface. So you can programmatically create messages. I will install this, you will know what I mean. And ddev composer install messages. And that's the power of Drupal, especially the entity system. And you will see what I mean. Ddev -en message. So message has been enabled. Okay, if we come to structure now, if I refresh the page, basically structure, and you can see there is this message templates. So message templates is nothing else but just like structure content types. So here this is message templates, and I will create add message template. So for example, I want to create a message to a user that a task has been assigned to you, a new task has been assigned to you. Which task? So this is very important lecture, so be tentative. So I will call it, the label should be what we can call it,
Task has been assigned to you.
task manager assignment. So this is basically we are creating a message bundle, just like for example we create a student or task or project. Similarly, this is a bundle of the message entity type. Okay, so the type is called task manager assignment, and here the message will be typed. Okay, I will leave it empty for now and just save the message template. So this is now a bundle we have created. You should know what a bundle is in entities now. And here I will go to the manage fields. This is fieldable entity, so I will go to manage fields. Here I will create two fields. One field should be of type task. It's here is the reference field, this.
Yes.
Continue, and it should be task, field underscore task, right? So which type it should refer to? Task. This one, and save. And the second one should be the user this task is assigned.
Yes, sir.
So again, reference user and which filter by user role, and which role? Task manager, and save settings. So two fields, extra fields we have created, field task and field user. Okay,
Yes.
now I will come to the edit screen of that template again, this one. Here hello whosoever the user is. So
Yes, sir.
hello user is
Available token. Browse the available.
so here we will come to the message section. This is the message, and it will have a field of select user, this one, field user, sorry, and it has the user entity and then account name. This is username. Okay, so hello message field user entity account name. So whosoever is the username, whatever is the username, it will be with this. A new task has been assigned to you. Okay, here the task should be something, whatever. Okay, and it can be full HTML. You can have anything like this. So maybe we can make it H2. Okay, here again we need to pass the token.
Yes.
So we have created the field. So again we will browse this, go to message, and then task. This is that,
Yes.
and in the task we can get that title, or we can directly also select this. Maybe it will also work. Field underscore task. let me browse it again, sorry. If I just select it here and click on, if the cursor is there, so you can directly double click it, message task, so it will go to the respective this field underscore task, right?
Yes.
So hello Mr. This, a new task has been assigned to you, that's it, and save. So we have created a, you can say, a template for the message entity of type task manager assignment. Okay, so what do you think, when should this be this message should be created?
No.
When should this message be created?
When the project manager or task manager assign the task to the user.
Exactly, when once he creates a task and
Create a
assigns it to a user.
Yes, sir.
So we will now do something so that when the task is created, create this message also.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and while we have created two separate fields, so here how can we get these values in the message? We'll have to populate these values also. So when we assign, let me go to the content, add content, task. So here once this task is saved, you will get the user field of the message from here. So whatever is the user selected, and then whichever is the whatever is the task is this thing. Okay, so we will do it, and normally people will do it with custom code. Okay, there are hooks are called when something happens in Drupal. So for example, I will write some code, when task is created, do this. Okay, create a new message entity and so on. But there is a very powerful module, and that is called ECA Drupal, and you can do programming, you can say you can do programming using this module from the graphical user interface without writing a single line of code. So we'll install it, and it basically in Drupal 7 and 6 there was a module called rules. Now even in Drupal 10 and 11 it is there, but it has taken a lot of time to be a stable release. But this ECA module is a new one, and we from Pakistan are thankful to these guys, especially Jurgen Haas, who has created this module, and you will see how powerful it is, and the whole team, we thank you. So, and by the way, in this DDCDP training you will have a separate class for ECA, but right now you will just get a taste of it. So copy and gdiff composer install. And the next step is to enable this module, but I will do it from, because it has a lot of extra other features as well, modules as well, so we will do it from the extend screen so that you know which ones to enable. And one thing, there is some exception, there is some issue because of which right now there is a separate module for ECA message Drupal. So we will install it. Once the bug in the core is resolved, this module then will not be needed, but for now we do need it, and we will install it. Gdiff okay. So if you come to extend and search ECA, so you can see it has a lot of these sub modules, and we'll enable this ECA message also. This is the separate one which we did now, and maybe just in some time this will be not needed. Then this one, ECA base, ECA VPN. Okay, one more module which I already have it here, that's why it is showing here, and that is BPMN ECA Drupal. This one, bpmn.io. and you will have to install it. I already have done this, so that's why it is appearing here in the screen. You will also have to install this one as well, because this is the modular for this module. So it is this one, and we will enable this one also. And the content, this is very important. ECA core is important. For now we don't need any form. Maybe ECA is miscellaneous. ECA UI, ECA user is also important. Right now we don't need views, but we will have it in the separate class for ECA. Okay, so all of these modules have been installed. And by the way, what does ECA stand for? It stands for event and conditions and actions. Okay, so the module has been installed. Now we will go to structure and maybe directly we need to go to structure. Sorry, not structure, configuration, workflow, and it has ECA. Okay, so you can go to here. We will have to create, and I will start with just the basics one so that you know what we are doing in this module. So this is known as add new module, and here mostly we will need these two things, this one and this one. So this one is
Start an
event, and this one is action, create task or whatever. So I will drag it here. Okay, so for example, this, if you select it to the right, you will have something called template. By the way, you should name your model. So if we go to the general tab, we will call it initial know-how of ECA, and we will save it. It will, in the admin scheme, it will be now initial know-how of ECA. Okay, so this is an event, and you can call it whatever you want. But if, for example, I want this event to fire when maybe something is done on the site. So create. So this is insert content entity. Okay, so this is the event now. Content entity, which content entity? If you select it, any or just one. So I will select article for now. So once the article is created, do something. Okay, article is created, do something. So that do something is action, actually. This one, the rectangle with some border radius, you can say. Okay, so create a task. And one way thing is, you can drag it like this, the task, or if I delete it, you can even from here click on this and the task will be created. And you can, inside the box, you can type something so that you remember what is happening. And we'll call it maybe show a message on the site. This is just the name so that you know what is happening. So when an article is created, show a message on the site. Okay, and what the message is, this is just now the name. Here you will come to the select template again, and even the Drupal core section, it has a display a message to the user. Display a message to the user. So on the right, each action has its corresponding property. So here we will display the message: a new article has been created, thanks for this, or whatever. Okay, so what we have done, and we will save this. This is normally, you might have seen some messages like this in Drupal, whatever you do. So we have asked ECA module that when article is added, show this message on the side, and the message is a new article has been created, thanks for this, right? So how to test it now? If I create a new article, test article and save. So this one is the normal message which you
Yes,
see,
sir.
okay, but this one is coming from
The
ECA.
ECA,
A new article has been created, thanks for this. Got it?
Yes, sir.
And if you go now to configuration and ECA again, so this is just one model. You can have hundreds of such tasks in your site and you can do things, right?
Yes.
Now we will go towards our main purpose of creating the message, because message does not have a UI of its own creating something, okay? So what we want to do is, when the task is created, and again I will stress upon this fact, you should know what you are doing. So what we want to do, I will type it here. When a task is created, a message should be prepared or saved for the user to whom the task is being assigned, as well as the name of the task, right?
Yes.
So when a task is created, means when the node is submitted for the task, a message should be prepared. So this is now an entity for us. So we will, when this is created, we will create this entity and also assign the users, okay?
Yes.
So let's start with it. I will create a new model and we will name it create, or maybe message for task manager, okay, and save it. So what should I drag first?
Circle.
The circle, because this is
Starting.
this is the event,
Creating.
or maybe you can just where is it? Okay, so even here you can type something and you will call it when task is created, so that you know, maybe you come back after a few months and you will remember what this is doing. Created, created, okay. When task is created, so just naming it does not mean that the functionality will be there. What you will do, you will select the template, and once task is created, what this is, create insert content entity. So the task is the one we, so which content entity?
Task.
Task, this one. So now it will fire on when the task is
Task is
created,
created, yes.
right? Okay, one thing, you can click on the template and it will have all the information of the things it does. So for example, after a new entity got saved, the event session user, the user account, that, so it has the session user variable and then the entity variable also. This is the entity variable. So for example, if the task is created, the whole task will be saved in this entity variable, which we can further use. Got it? Okay, so the next step is, I can drag a rectangle from here, or I will just click on this one and we'll call it, what should be this task? Message. To create a message,
To
create message entity. Okay, we can even drag it here so that it looks a bit better. So once the task is created, we will create a message entity. So if we click on it here, the select template will be, we will choose which template.
display message.
No, we want to create the message.
Yes.
So create entity, create new, ECA content entity, create new.
Yes.
This is the action we need to do. So which entity? Now it has all the settings here. So the entity should be provide the name of the token that holds the new entity. So we will call it new message or anything. So this token means variable here.
Yes.
So this message, you can say you have created a new entity programmatically and assigned it to a variable. So this is that variable. And which type? Which type? Shavas, tell me.
Task one.
The message entity. Message entity of
Yes, sir.
the message entity, the task manager assignment. This is that message entity we want to create.
Yes, sir.
This is, don't confuse it with the task. Task is, when the task is created, that is something else. So once the task is created, we are also creating the message entity.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is that message entity. The language can be undefined, we can leave it undefined for now, but it can be whatever the site language is. By the way, we will also have a class on creating multilingual sites in Drupal, and this will then make sense to you. Okay, the label of the new entity, we don't, label means title or name or whatever, so we don't need anything because I think there is no published state also for the message entity, so we will leave these two blank. And who the owner UID will be.
Task
So the
manager.
message normally is from the admin side.
Yes.
So we don't need to assign it any other user ID, so maybe one is fine. One means
Yes,
admin
sir.
user.
Admin.
Okay, so the second step is done, and we have saved the new entity in the new message variable. This is very important because we will need it in future. Okay, so the entity has been created. Now what we need to do is, and I will go back to that manage display of the entity, sorry, where it is in our site. Okay, so if I go to
Same.
show message, no, this is the older one. If you go to structure and message templates, so this is the overall bundle. It has been created now, but if you go to the managed fields, so it has these two fields now, field task and field user, if you remember. So the overall entity has been created, but now we need to set these values,
Yes, sir.
field task and field user. Where should these values come from?
From the assigned task.
From the task,
Yes, sir.
from the task,
Yes, sir. Task.
from the task common content type. Okay, so the next step is to assign values to this. So we will again create these boxes, and we will call it assign task. Okay, so assign task, we are now going to set this value in the message type, and again this is going to be a template, and a template should be set field value in the ECA content section. This is set field value, right? So set field value is going to be the task. Okay, so there are multiple ways of setting values. Again, we will have a class on it, but this one is for now. Okay, set and clear previous value. It has a lot of these predefined, and this is so powerful. I mean, I have no words to explain honestly, but we will for now choose set and clear previous value. I will ignore the rest of the stuff. Okay, so what should be field value? Now this is your test. This is the name of the field we are going, the name of the field is the one we chose, but what should be the field value?
Field value will be those machine names that we have used it inside
The-
the message.
The field value should be the task select user. If I will go back again, this may be initially confusing for you, but if I go to the content types and manage fields for the task, so this is we are selecting the task, right? So task should be by itself the whole entity. Okay, so here what should be field value? As you remember, we in the initial task, here it has been defined, it is stored in the entity. The initial entity which is saved is stored in this variable. So assign task, the value of the field name is select sorry, what's the field name in the message field? Field underscore task. This is the field name. So the field name is what it is, field underscore task, and the field value should be that entity, sorry, entity, initial entity which has been
Yes, sir.
saved, the task, this one.
Yes, sir.
The task which is being created is saved in the entity variable, and the assigned task, this is the field on the message entity type. So the name is field task, this is this field, this one.
Yes, sir.
So its value should be the initial entity which is being saved, that the task entity. Okay, so field value is what? This entity. And okay, so save entity means we can save entity here and it will appear, but we have to do one more field also. So right now we will leave it as this,
Yes,
and in the next step we will save the entity also. Okay, so assign task, and the next step is assign user. Okay, so how the user value will come? If you come here, this we have dealt with this one, the first one, field task. Now the second value should be set, the field user, in the message. So what the second, where will this value come from?
From the task also.
Good, from the task. If you go to the task, here is the
Select user.
select user. In the task there is a user, so the same value should be saved in this variable also. So if we come to this assign user and the template, again what should I choose?
Set field value.
Good, set it's in the ECA content, set field value,
Yes,
this
sir.
one, and the name of the value is field is, if you, this is field underscore user, field underscore user, and the field value should be what?
Entity.
Entity?
No, sir.
Entity is the whole thing.
Select user.
So it is, yes, it can be this entity colon select underscore user, but we should be specific about what the field name is. So it is field underscore select underscore
Yes, sir.
user. So it should be field underscore select underscore user. So whatever is the value in that drop down, it will be passed on to this assigned task also.
Yes.
Right now, because this is going to be the last thing we want to do,
Yes,
so we will save entity. Now we will save entity. Okay, save means it will be persisted into the database.
Database. Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have done it. Now let us test it, and we will come back to it if there are still confusions. So now, for example, by the way, as I said, there is no default way to see messages which are created. So there are two ways: either we will go to PHP MyAdmin or create a view for the messages. So first we will create, if we go to content, add content, task, and a new task after setting up ECA. Okay, select user, it is maybe Irfan, right? The project is this, date is this, status is to do, and task is critical. Okay, so this is now creating the new task. So once this is saved, what will happen? A message will be created.
Create.
Message also is an entity.
Yes, sir.
Okay, a message will be created.
Message entity has been created.
Yes, and I will just save it for now. So it has been saved. How to know that a message has been created? We will test it. If it is working, so we will create a view quickly. We will create a view. Structure, views, add view. We'll call it messages for task managers, right? So what should be the content? Because this is the message is now its own entity, and the bundle is task manager assignment,
Yes, sir.
and we'll create a block, maybe 10 messages and 7 edit field. Okay, So in the preview, message ID is not shown. It means the message that has not yet worked probably. So if the message had been created, it would be showing here, but it hasn't been created now as of yet. Let me just debug why it is not there. If you go to structure, configuration, message, and this is, sorry, it is in the structure. We need to go to the message templates first. If there is something, hello, this has been sent to you. So message template. Okay, if we go to the ECA again, maybe we are missing something. Configuration, ECA, and here message for task manager, edit. Okay, so when the task is created, content task, create message. So new message is this, publish. Maybe if this is the problem, we will make it yes. And then assign task. In the assign task we have field task is going to be this, and then save entity. That this action should operate with, okay, sorry, we are missing this thing. If you remember, the we named the entity new message, whatever was being set. So we are missing it in the last. We are saving entity, but we are not which entity it is going to save. So new message and save. Okay. So now let me create the task again. A new task after debugging ECA by the way, I have a very cool extension now for this, lorem ipsum. Okay, select user, so it's going to be Irfan, project is PHP, and the date is whatever, status is and to do. This is critical, and save. Okay, so how to test now? If a message has been created, we will go to the view. Where is that view now? I think we need to go to the view again. So structure, views, and messages for task managers will get it. And in the preview, still is not showing it. CR and let me refresh it. The task is created. Had we saved it again, and then new message is the name of the token, assign task. Okay, here also we will have the new message, and then the new message to save. So let me try it again. New task again after ECA 3. And where is the view now? Did we? Okay, there is now one, means we are missing the new entity variable in the
Yes, sir.
middle
Yeah, task.
stage. Okay, so this is just the ID. We will add in the message section, the message text. This is that text, and we don't need the ID. We will remove the ID. So okay, it has not been interpreted, but hello Irfan, because we had selected it,
Yes.
a new task this has been assigned to you, and save. So this is the new entity we created for Irfan.
Yes.
Now how can we make sure that only Irfan gets his own messages on his dashboard?
Create a user.
No, user is,
Through UID.
yes, if you go to the structure, message templates, edit, manage fields, so this is the field user on the message.
Yes, sir.
So in the contextual filter we will have to filter by this user of the logged in user ID.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So that's what we are going to do next in views. So now this is just one message. Let me just create two more messages so that you can see. So for example, if you create another one, task, by the way, first let me just check why has that h2 not worked. You can go to the HTML also. H2 we had written it in the source. So now this will be H2. Okay, so we will create a new task now. Where was it? Task, and let us do it for one else also. Task for Bilal. Select user Bilal, and project is Laravel project, date is this, status is to do, and priority is critical, and save. If we refresh the view now, I have to stay on the view all the time. So hello Irfan, a new task this has been created, has been assigned to you, and this task is been assigned to you. So we now have two tasks, one for Bilal.
Yes.
So how to make it sure that only a user gets his own task? So that can only be possible via contextual filters. We'll add a contextual filter, and it has to be on the field underscore user, which appears in the task assignment, this one, right?
Yes.
And add contextual filter, provide default value, and it should be ID from the logged in users, and apply. Now nothing will show up. Why? Because admin does not have any task assigned. So if we, what is Bilal's
4.
4? Okay, so if it is 4, update. So you can see this is the task for Bilal, and save. Now the next step is to show this block on the dashboard for task manager. So if you go to dashboard, the first one is task manager dashboard. Here you will edit the layout, and on the left we will add messages here. Sorry. So message for task managers, and we can or write title in views. So my messages, or messages for me, or something like this we can call it.
My task.
Oh yes, messages for me. These are basically, for example, he will log in and just look into this corner of his dashboard to
Yes,
see
sir.
if there has been any assignment for the task, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so save dashboard. Now what, we will log out and log in as Bilal. One, two, three, four, five, six. So these are the general, and this is messages for me,
Yes, sir.
and hello Bilal, a new task for Bilal has been assigned to you. Is this clear?
Yes.
So this can be a stream of different messages on his wall. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
So anybody can repeat the steps we did just roughly. What is this we are showing? It is a message.
Yes,
How
sir.
was it created? It was created once we installed the message module,
Yes, sir.
and using ECA.
Yes, sir.
When the task was being created, we created the message also. But now it is only showing for the person to whom the message has been sent,
Yes, sir.
because we created a view also.
Yes, sir.
And the message module by default, it does not have a UI.
Yes,
Though
sir.
there is a contrib module, message UI or something like this, message UI Drupal, but this actually is just for testing purpose. You should not use it. You should be creating either programmatically some messages with some other content inside it, or this. Okay. The next is, I want maybe just one thing more we want to achieve, and that is, for example, the project manager should have messages. For example, if a project moves from to do to in progress,
Yes, sir.
so he should know that a task has been changed, can
Task
say.
status has been changed.
has been changed,
Yes.
something like this. Okay, before this, let me even email Bilal that a task has been assigned to you. Okay,
Yes.
for example, this is just when he will log in, he will see these messages, but he should get an email also.
Yes.
Okay, so let's try that also through ECA. So we'll come back to the same. Why is it access denied?
Yes, sir. So
Because yes, we are not logged in as admin. Okay, so here message, this is the message, and this. So we can do something else also even here when the task is created. Okay, but let us do it in a new one, or maybe let us try doing it here. So if there are two things emerging after an action, we can use this one. This is like a choke, you can see, say.
Yes, sir.
So here we will add another action like this. Okay, so when task is created, one thing happens is this create message, and the other thing is will be sending an email.
Yes, sir.
So send email to the assignee. Who should he be? The person who is in the drop down.
Yes.
Okay, so when task is created, send an email. So in the template here, send email. Okay, recipient email address. Okay, let me please let me know what should be the email address here.
Which is present in the
User's email address.
Which user
Selected
email?
user.
The selected user's email address. So again we will go to structure, content types, and task manage fields. This is that field select user.
Yes, sir.
So who, if the user is select maybe Bilal, so we can drill down into that using the token,
Yes, sir.
and we can get the user's email. So that's what we are going to do now. Send email. So who the recipient email should be, because this is the task created is entity.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we can catch the user here,
Field select
and we can even use the token browser. We don't have token here. It will be entity field
select user.
field underscore select underscore user, and maybe it is either email or mail. I'll save it here, and let us quickly install the token module. I think we don't have the token module installed here. If you go to extend token, we do have token, then why it is not showing? Somewhere here. Okay, we'll try it with either email or mail. Okay, it is mail. So entity field underscore select user, and then it should be entity again, I think, and then mail. Okay, the subject is a new task has been assigned to you, and the message should be dear, and we can again use the name here dynamically, dear, and this should be name,
Yes, sir.
a new task, and even the task can be
Dynamic, yes.
dynamic, and it should be entity
Yes, sir.
colon what title, because it is related to this one,
Yes, sir, directly.
right? Title has been assigned to you. It even can have all the fields of the task entity, content type. So the due date is this and that, whatever you want to type, that can be here. So this shows replace tokens, means in the message replace tokens. So yes, we will make it yes, and that's it. If this is not working, we will check, but for now we will save it. And now how to test it? We'll create a new task and assign it to new task for Irfan, for example, and the user is Irfan. Select project this, and status is to do critical, and save it. Now how to test? If we go to ddiff describe, so mail pit is the mail catcher in ddiff. So maybe if there is an email, it will be here, otherwise the token may not be working fine. Okay, so this is that message, the new one. A new task has been assigned to you. It is working.
Yes, sir, it's working.
Right? And one trick you should know in this, for example, the entity field select user was the field name, so it actually references another entity which is user. So normally in tokens you will see another entity variable also. This is the main node entity, this is the field on that entity, and it references user entity, right?
Yes.
So this again you will use the entity, it means the user entity mail. If it references another node, so you can then use, for example, if a node reference is used for maybe whatever, So the second entity then will be that second content, or the one which is being referred. Is this clear? So you can do a lot of such stuff with ECA, and we will have a dedicated class for ECA inshallah. But for now this is okay. So now the third step we want to do is, if the value of a field changes from its original value to the to do,
Yes, sir. Status.
so we will send an email, or maybe we will create a message to the for the project managers, right? So how can we do it? Again, we will go to structure and message templates, and we will create a new bundle. We will call it project manager status change, right? And here we will the status of task this, we will use a token for it, has been changed to new value, whatever it is. Okay, I will for now save it, but we will create project manager status change. So we already have fields, so we can reuse an existing field. So which one? The field task, and maybe the user field also. Reuse means we can reuse the fields from other bundles. So now this bundle also has task and user fields. We'll go back here, use the browse available tokens, and in the message, where is the message? This one. We have, I will click on the task here. So field underscore task, this has been changed to the new value. Set of task has been changed to new value. Okay, how to access the new value here? We can do this directly here. So if I go to the task, and it has the status field, content, where it is, this is the task entity. So task entity now has, as I was saying, the second value means the referred task, right? So it will have
Status.
this one. Okay,
Yes.
and you can include other tokens also, and we will save it. So the status of task this has been changed to this by the user. So user also can be select user, this one, right, and save. So this is, we have set up the template for the message. Now what's the steps?
Structure ECA.
We will create an ECA rule
Yes.
or model. They call it model now, and the rules, it would be called rule. But for now we will go to structure, sorry, not structure, configuration, workflow, ECA, and we'll create a new one, new model, and we'll call it status change on tasks. Save it. Okay, so we'll drag it. Just let me know what should be the action roughly. Just, I know you haven't used it yet, but when will this action, this event fire?
To change the status.
Status. So status is changed. So what actually is being changed? The task entity.
Yes, sir.
Task content type, right? If I change, how can I change a status? I will go to the content. This is a task, for example, it is in to do. So though I'm changing the value, but I'm also changing the entity, the whole entity.
Yes, sir, exactly.
So here we will go to and this is very natural. I mean, Drupal is very natural. You will know what you want to do. So here we'll choose update content entity. Simple. Update content entity
Yes.
of which type?
Task.
If you don't choose anything, it will fire always. But if we make it only to be task, so once the task is, and even here when task is updated, so this will fire, right? The next step is we will create a box, and what it should do,
Changing the status.
changing the state.
Status.
So we will let me do it this way. We will create a message actually, but when we'll create message, this line is actually if condition. This is the condition. If you select this is action, this is a event, and this is action, and this is if condition. So this event, when this event takes place, this thing will happen, but when, if this if condition gets true.
Yes, sir.
And it again has a template. If I select this, so value change or something, field value changed, field value changed.
Yes.
So which field value changed? So we will go to the task, and if the status value changes,
Yes, sir.
okay, so field is field underscore status. I think it is field underscore status, or what? Structure,
Yes, sir. Field underscore status.
content types, manage fields. So it is okay, task status, field underscore task underscore status. Negate the condition means it is not, but we are not going to negate it. And which entity? Again, this entity which is being, and you can know about it here reading all this. So we will just copy the entity variable, the one which is being updated,
Yes, sir.
this one. Okay, so this field value once changed, this action will take place. And what is this action? Create a message. That's it. And what this create message will do, it will create a insert create new. Is here user create new? No, not user. This entity create new. So create new, name of the token, provide the name of a token that holds the new entity. So again, this is going to be a new message or whatever, new message. Type is, now this is going to be the second type we created, project manager status change. And the language for now is undefined. Entity level does not have any label. Maybe we can, I think it does not have this value also, but we can. And the owner, it should be who created the message. For now admin does it, so we'll do it this way and save. Entity field this field requires a token name, not a token. Okay. Entity field value okay, this is a bit confusing at times. You will have to deal with these two things. Okay, but for now it has been saved. Create a message. Let me repeat. So new message which is created is saved in this variable, and the type is this, the yes, and so on. Okay, so let us try now changing the value of new task for fun, in fact. And if we change it to what it is, in progress, and save it. How to know if a message has been created? We'll go to the views. For now we can even, but I will quickly create a new view, and the view should be messages for project manager. show a message of show content of message of which type? Project manager status change.
Yes.
It will be a block, and maybe I want to show him 20 messages. Project manager message ID. I think it has not worked because right now there is no ID. So I think we may be missing something there as well. Maybe the structure. First go here, edit. Do we have any fields to fill? Status of task message field task has been changed to message entity task by user. Okay, so we forgot to assign these two fields the values. Okay, message in the model. So if you go to configuration and workflow ECA and message for task manager, edit. When task is created, okay, not this one. Message for
Status
change on tasks. So when task is updated, which task? Content task. If the field name, custom properties, template is changed. And provide the token name of the entity that this condition should operate with. Please provide the token. Okay, and this one is new message. Okay, it has been created. Now we should assign the next two, and those are okay, set task field. Remember, we need to, just like we did it in the first one. So set a default, set a value, set field value. What should be the field name? Field underscore star task, and the field value should be the new field value. This is yes entity. And we are going to not save it as yet because we will be setting a new value also. So that is set user. So what the set user should do? It will also set value on entity, set field value, and what should be the field name? It is field underscore user, I think.
Yes.
And the field value should be what? Entity field underscore select underscore user. In this is this field.
Yes, sir.
Field select user. And now the save entity should be yes because
It's the last entity.
that's the last one, and this should be this entity. This is something which we forgot. New message and save. So successfully save the model. Now let me try creating updating the content again. Maybe task for Bilal. If it changes to do to in progress and save. Hopefully if everything is fine. Still not working. Is the view working fine? Project manager status change.
So you have to pass an entity name inside the ECA model. In this one.
Set task.
Entity
Yes, good.
New message.
New message. maybe if we
Complete.
do it complete and save, and if you go to the view, where is that view now? Update. So
Yes, sir.
we have an ID now, means that, thank you Afaq. Now if I add the task text, not the text, where it is, message text, yes, this is that token text.
Yes, sir.
And apply. We will remove the ID for now. So the task this has been changed to completed by Irfan,
Yes, sir.
and save. Okay, if there is a user, maybe admin or maybe project manager, who wants to know all the messages which are taking place in the system,
Yes.
for a log for example, he will have the activity of everything going on. So what we can do is, we can even change the filter criteria to have all the types of the messages. So now he will be seeing all the messages like these.
Yes, sir.
He can daily come to his dashboard and see whatever is happening in the system. Clear? So we can use this format for now and save it. The next step is to show this view on the dashboard for project manager. So we will go to project manager dashboard and edit layout. In the left, maybe in the first one, we will choose, what's the name of the
Messages for project manager.
project manager, message for project manager, the first one,
Yes.
and add block. So it will show him different
Messages.
messages and save dashboard layout. That's it. Now if a project manager, Afaq is a project manager, right? If you log in as Afaq and go to his dashboard, what's maybe let me just log out and log in as Afaq. 1 2 3 4 5 6 and log in. So you can see
All the messages.
these are all the messages he will be seeing. The status of task is changed to this, hello Irfan, new task has been, so he will be knowing whatever is happening on the
Site.
system. So we did cover a lot of stuff, and especially the ECA module, but as I said, we will have a separate session on ECA so that you know all of the peculiarities of this beautiful module, powerful module. And we kind of have we can do a lot of stuff in the project application, but for now this is enough for your practice. So hopefully see you in the next lecture.
Thank you, sir.